One of the most common misunderstandings that I hear often when people talk about their dreams is that they know they've had a dream, but they assume that it's irrelevant. And so they wake up and they say, oh, that was an interesting dream, and on they go with their day. I wanted to share with you a dream that I had recently to illustrate a point. Our dreams are ways of receiving communication from our soul, from our higher self, from our spirit, whatever you call it. Imagine if you believed that, even just for a moment, and you went to sleep and you woke up and you say, oh, I had a communication from my higher self, or the spirit world is trying to get my attention. The great thing about dreams is its symbolism can be used to communicate in a language that we understand. How often are you paying attention to your dreams, to what is happening at night? If you can remember them, which begins with an intention of remembering them and knowing that the information that you're going to be receiving is important to your well-being or the well-being of others, then you will remember them. And you will start having your most significant dreams right before you wake up in the morning. The other night, I had a dream. And in this dream, it begins with me, and I am preparing 2 rooms in my home. Now, the rooms are all decorated in dusty pink. The walls are pink, the floors are pink, the furniture is pink. I am preparing these rooms because I've opened my home to a woman and her children who need a place, a safe place to stay. And I'm preparing them in a way that I want them to feel comfortable. I want them to trust me and to know that I really do care about them and that I will provide a safe and nurturing environment for them. So I think of putting pictures of my children out, and I arrange the furniture in a way that, a little play area for the kids, and I get it all set up. And this person who was helping me said, oh, the woman is here, but it's only her. She's coming in to meet you, and she wants to do that because she doesn't just want to bring her children in without knowing that you're, that you're a good person and that you'll care for her and her children properly. And I think to myself, oh, of course she would do that. Any mother would do that. So I go to greet her. And she is a woman who has blonde hair, and her energy is just very calm, very peaceful. And I introduce myself, and we, shake hands. And in that moment, there's a connection between the two of us. And I know that she knows that her children will be safe and cared for. And so will she in this environment. So then this amazing thing happened. She introduces herself and tells me her name. Now in the dream, I am repeating what I think I'm hearing her say, and I keep mispronouncing her name. So in the dream, I'm saying it all different ways, and every time I say it, she said, no, that's not exactly right, and then she'll repeat it until I finally get the proper pronunciation of her name. And so I say over and over right before I wake up, oh, your name is Aleem. 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 That's your name, right? Aleem. And then I wake up. And as I'm waking up from the dream, I have this name and the proper pronunciation just very in my mind, very strongly. And I think to myself, I've never ever heard this name before. It sounds like it's Arabic or Middle Eastern. And I'm Lebanese, but I had never heard this name before. And as I'm waking up and thinking, this sounds Arabic or Middle Eastern, and then I consider this idea, wouldn't that be quite interesting if it's a real name? And I wonder what it means. Now, let's assume that I just go about my day and I don't consider that dream to be a communication from spirit. I don't consider it to be influential in my life at all. And I just tell somebody what a cool dream I had and off I go. But as many of you know, I pay close attention to my dreams and I start looking for the synchronicities. I start looking for the validation. I don't assume that a dream is going to be significant in terms of just off I go, but I do look for validation, and the more validation I get, the more I start to recognize, okay, this is a message to pay attention to. So I look it up. I look up the name Aleem. And what I find out is it is Arabic. It is from the Middle East. And it is a name that means the all-knowing one. It is a name associated with God, and it is a name that goes with wisdom and this idea of all-knowing, meaning all that is hidden and unhidden, all that is seen and unseen. All that there is to know is known by the knowing one. Now, to further validate that this is something I need to pay attention to, is in my travels through the internet, looking up the name and its origin, I find a very interesting fact. The name Aleem is associated with the color pink. Now, the color pink is the combination between white and red. And red is love and white is purity. And when you put them together, you have pink. And pink is associated with the heart, the feminine aspect of the divine, the compassion, the love, the self-love. So I write all of these things down, and then what do? I contemplate, and I contemplate all the symbols in the dream, assuming now, as after I've had validation, that they are important to know. There's the feminine, there is this idea of the mother, which is an aspect of our Creator. There is an idea of children. And there is the idea of I am opening up my home. I am offering a place for this all-knowing one and the children of the all-knowing one to come into my home and to live there, which I'm starting to gather this more information about what this will mean for me and where this will take me. It's like you're seeing a trailer of a movie and it's giving you insight into what's coming. And as I'm contemplating this, another important aspect to know about reviewing your dreams is it may not come to you all at once. So I'm very patient with the opening of my awareness to receive more and more information. And that really has to do with my readiness. I know something, it's significant. And I believe that when all the pieces come together and I understand where this is going and what it means for me in my life, I won't be surprised, right? I've been prepared. And on a level of understanding, I could say to you that I am being opened, or I'm opening my own heart and my own beingness to have understanding that is beyond even what I currently understand, because we're talking about the all-knowing one. We're talking about the bigger aspect of things other than just what we see. And so I want to end this short little video to tell you one more really, really fun fact about this experience is as I was sitting and contemplating and looking up the name, by the way, I looked up the pronunciation and it is Aleem, pronounced that way. The next thing, as I'm sitting in silence and just receiving, I'm not trying to gain any intellectual understanding, I'm just open to whatever else wants to come in. and I get this song going on in my head. I'm sure you've all heard it, Joni Mitchell, Both Sides Now. So I look up the lyrics, and it has to do with when you go through life and you're looking at the clouds and you're looking at love and you're looking at life from both sides, both the fantasy and the reality, or the struggle and the joy, all of these things that in the end you really don't know anything. You don't know clouds at all, you don't know love at all, you don't know life at all. And that song started to go around in my mind, and I realized, oh, to be open to the all-knowing one, I must recognize that this whole journey has taken me to both sides. I've seen both sides, I've experienced both sides, but I really don't know anything at all. And now I am ready to listen and to be open to a greater understanding. So I'm sharing this with you in hopes that you pay attention to your dreams, and I've given you a little bit of a short synopsis of how you could take your dreams and use them in your own life. So I look forward to sharing anything more that I get from this dream, and I wish you all lots of love. Thanks.